lovely story. When I was a kid, my father used to tell me, you always used to love to go to hotels and eat. You will love to go to restaurants and eat, but you will not go to a dhaba and eat. And I used to love food. Still did I love food, And he says that whenever you used to go outside, you need to go to a hotel, you need a restaurant, proper restaurant to sit. So that was like childhood trend.
Yeah, yeah.
But what happened in due course of time, actually, I'm actually a sports background. So when in India, when you're a sportsman, you can't study. You are very bad at the subjects.
Yeah, yeah.
I was a backbencher, and most of the time, actually, I was standing out of the class. So, yeah, so I couldn't do much in the studies. I'm a sportsman. I played hockey for about 22 years in my life. So I was about to take it as a profession, but Indian hockey, where they were exactly 12 years back, 15 years back.
Yeah.
So we were studying. We were in college, and then our team. One of my friends, he was doing some hotel management course, and I had a bike, so he told me if you can come along, and it was a number 1 hotel, number 2 hotel, it was big hotel in Rajasthan, in Jodhpur, and we used to play for Rajasthan University. So I said, okay, we got an opportunity to see a big hotel, why not, let's go. So he tied up with his all black suit and white shirt and all this stuff, and I used to keep mustaches, my hair were like this big, and I got haircut done, removed it, and I went with a tie and a shirt with him, just to accompany him, because youngsters go together.
Yeah.
They need a friend to do something. There were like 10 guys sitting in the lobby, and the owner, MD of the hotel, was interviewing somebody. And one by one, I saw they were all coming, going, and I was reading a newspaper like that. And suddenly, this owner of the hotel called me. So I said, no, I'm not. No, come. So I said, I'm not here for an interview. And at the back end, I'll tell you, my communication skills were pretty fair, not that bad. Because speaking in English 20 years back was a big thing. Especially in a state like Rajasthan and UP and all this stuff. So my background, father's background, is actually defense background. So Indian Air Force, since the beginning, you are into schooling that they teach you speak. So probably I was a backbencher, but my communications was pretty good. So he started speaking, why don't you work with us and this and that. I said, sir, I just came with my friend. He's just given his interview, and now I'll be going back. No, but give it a thought if you like to work. Work means how much money will you give me? They said, okay, this X amount will give you. But the X amount was pretty good at that time. I have a challenge that I play morning, evening, but till 2:30 I can't work because I have my own hockey sessions. So either I can miss the morning or either I can miss the evening one. They said, no problem. You come, you do it after 2 o'clock. So you work from 2:30 to 10. That's how I got into hotel as a front office assistant. Now, those days, people used to call receptionist. So now the technical term was changed to front office assistants. And that's how I got entered, And then now I feel I was actually destined to be in the industry, even if I'm not from the background, basically. So that's how I started. And then there was no looking back, because I came to Delhi and then I worked for a small brand called Nerulas. It was a big brand. They had hotels, so I was part of the hotels. And then I worked with Le Méridien Hotels. They were setting up base in India. And after that, there was no looking back, actually. No looking back.
If you have to summarize your 20 years of experience into various positions that you have been there, right? What are your biggest learnings?
See, first thing I suggest everyone I meet. I'll come on to that thing part. But first thing I would recommend anyone that you make sure at the initial of your journey of your career, what do you want to be? And in my case, I was not from the hotel management background. Neither I did an industrial training. I didn't know about various departments. So first, it became very important for me to learn and take some experience. Out of this 20 years, 7 years is actually learning. I was part of front office, I was part of reservations, I was part of revenue team, I was a sales coordinator, I was a sales executive. So this, out of this 20 years, 7 years was initial learning, which helped me later actually gain some knowledge. Plus, before when I started, I made some first, principles basically. That I would not do certain things and I would do these things. And somewhere I had to compromise, then probably I will not compromise. So basically, be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Be true to your colleagues. Be true to your customer. That's how it is. And believe in destiny and hard work. And always do something different. Don't follow the traditional setups. Don't follow the traditional thought process. I'm not saying challenge it. Take calculated risk. If you need to do a certain check-in process, you can't challenge it. You have to do it.
Yeah.
But creativity. And in this 5-6 years, Manish, you won't believe, I started thinking differently. All right.
Challenging the challenge. Yeah, sure.
I'll just give you a classic example. Till date, I'm not able to do it because I can't challenge it. But I do it when I'm in charge. All salespeople, they will sit down on a Friday evening and they will plan their Monday to Friday calling. The trend has changed. Can you plan something on a weekend? If I have to meet you, should I bother you on a weekend?
Of course you cannot, right?
I cannot. Most of probably what will happen, if you need to meet 20 clients, you will only get 4 appointments. Right? And one thing I don't like it, you take the bag and go out on a Monday morning. Who is going to meet you?
Everybody is busy on Monday. Yeah.
Monday morning.
Yeah.
Right? So what I want to change in this industry is, rather than sitting on a Friday evening, pack up the bags by 2 or 3 o'clock, go and party hard, enjoy your weekend, come back on Monday and you plan your week. Because that's the time people will start engaging in their business activities. They'll start speaking, start taking calls. That's how it is. So that was my thought process since the beginning. But I had to follow what the company norms were, so I was following it up. That was it. So thinking different is always going to help you out. Right? And I'll tell you, in 7, 8, and 9 probably, it was a little great depression. Business was not that much. And then global business was not happening. People were not traveling, And I was working for a resort. And you think if people are in cost-cutting mode, they will not go to a 5-star resort. I was part of Westin Sona Gurgaon Resort and Spa. Westin was luxury, It was opulent luxury, and it was selling at a very high price. And market was down. But you still believe me, I used to do my target by 300%. People used to come and ask me, from where do you find the business?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to ask you.
Those leads?
Where are you getting those leads?
Yes, and I'll tell you, till date, whosoever came to me, I used to tell them, in India, there are some job portals, monster.com, naukri.com, this.com and that.com. When people used to find lead in the market, dead market, I used to sit and look at those job portals, My boss used to come that you're looking for a job. That is why you're on job portal. I said, if I had been looking for a job, I won't be doing it by 300%. I'm looking for business here. People used to get shocked. On job portals, you're looking for business. It is your thought process. Company who is hiring is willing
must
to
be growing.
spend.
Yeah, of course.
It's like a sitting duck, man. Just go and contact them.
Yeah. Correct.
Things like that. I mean, one has to be really creative,
Yeah, I mean, recently I gave nearly the same advice to my sales team now, because the coronavirus is there. So I said, okay, why don't you, are you reading the newspapers or not? I say, yeah, we are reading the newspapers. So I said, are you reading the news or the advertisements? So they say, we read the news. I said, no, look at the advertisements. Look who is
Absolutely.
spending the money on advertising the things. Those people, those companies who are still advertising on websites, on the newspapers, on the magazines, they are our potential client. Go and talk to them. What are their needs, and can we fulfill their needs or not?
There are many instances I can share in 20 years. See, 2 decades has been almost, my first decade was learning and I was still a managerial level. And the last decade, which is 2011 to 2020, I was actually in leadership. Well, many instances, Manish, you won't believe me.
Yeah.
And when there is a saying, if you have a clear heart, you're hardworking, the entire universe will help you silently.
Yes.
You know what happened once? I was not taking one of my customers' call. I was in a meeting. And I used to, at that time I was handling a lot of weddings. And when you handle a lot of wedding queries, those meetings last for hours.
Yeah, can go long, very long.
Your detailing, your everything has to be taken care. Because if anything goes wrong in that wedding, you will be held by the neck.
Yeah.
Right, and then there will be no apology for that. So I did not take this customer's call, and then customer was very important. It was known to me. He said, "What happened to you? You don't want to talk to me." So I just sent him a WhatsApp message. I'm sorry. I'm little stressed because I'm falling short by 50 room nights this month. And I'm really tense. I was kidding. I was just kidding. So that, he doesn't call me, and I said, I'll call you back as soon as I find.
Yeah, 50 room nights.
I was simply kidding.
Yeah.
But then he said, okay, you call me whenever you're free. So I didn't call him that day. I called him next day. I said, sorry, Raj, why? He was working with Pepsi actually. Sorry, Raj, I was busy. Well, yeah, only small thing. 50 nights. I'll arrange for you.
Yeah.
And you won't believe it happened.
That's the power of relationship also, I think. Maybe your relation with him was good.
Yes. What came out? That if you ask for help in distress from a customer, you will get a reply back. And if the relationship is good, you will definitely get a business back.
Yeah. That's the power of asking SMS, and relationship.
Yes. So this is somewhere around 2008, 7, 8. WhatsApp had not come by the time. So what happened now? Then the entire my own sales group started selling on WhatsApp. Oh, sorry, SMS.
SMS. Okay. And so what are the things that you find in sales department usually which you think they should learn really, and current sales force are lacking in certain skills?
It is millennial era actually.
Yeah, millennial era
has lot of potential because when they come in front of you, they are technically sound. Their knowledge is on a higher side, what we used to. But only thing is this new, era lacks little patience. They want to learn everything fast. Everything should happen quick.
Or they want to get everything fast.
Yes, and trust me, it's like people, you and me, who are serious senior in the industry. We should change the way we work. It should be made fun. Rather than having a lengthy meeting, coming back, doing a lengthy meeting, then meeting, and then meeting. We have spent more time on the road, spend more time in customer meetings. That will bring business.
Yeah.
That will reduce stress. Meetings should be reduced.
Minimized. Yeah.
What is the use of technology When's the use of technology, when we have to meet for every stupid thing we have. Okay, revenue down, we have a revenue meeting. We have business down, we have business meeting. We have banquet leads not coming, we do banquet leads coming. Whole sales team is doing a meeting. That is what I've seen in last 4 or 5 years, especially. Right? And your sales head is director of sales head is not a director of sales anymore.
Director of meetings.
In bigger brands, in bigger brands I've seen.
Yeah.
Your director of sales and marketing actually is your relationship manager with the owner and the brand. So where is this sales happening?
Yeah. Correct.
I mean, we should change this environment. Have fun. I said just stop this Friday thing and start on Monday things, because I think it'll give a little kick to the people as well. Earning, they know, oh shit, Monday I have to do again a sales call. I have to meet 20 stupid guys. Somebody will let me enter or not. That's all. Let them come, fix their meetings on Monday. By the time half day is spent, they are fresh. At least they will have next four days of sales calling. They will be fresh, confident, and energetic.
So have you changed that already or not in your organization?
See, when whenever I work, I work differently. Right? I follow all the process, global norms, if I'm with a brand. But personally, my working style is different. That's how I always wanted, but I never could, because I know that my boss is going to crib on me, right?
Yeah.
So 10 years of learning, when I used to think, if I ever become a director of sales, if I ever become a general manager, I would not do certain things, where people will, at my back, will say, idiot, something like that. So that's how it is. So my leadership actually is a little different than others. Yes, reporting is there, follow process is everywhere, but it's very, very limited. Only such time till I require information. Right? Otherwise, you do your fun. That's your laptop. That's your sales car. Customers is yours. I will do three meetings with you in a week per person. Bring business and be happy.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what. It's very easy to become a director of sales and marketing guy. It is very easy for you to become an FC of a hotel. It is also very easy to become a general manager of the hotel. But from your own point, if you see, if I'm hiring 4 sales managers, 3 assistant managers, 2 banquet sales guys, 2 executives, even if one person is not producing as per the expectation, it is not his problem. It is my problem.
Yeah.
I have to be with him hand in hand, tell him, guy, let's go and find out where he's doing things wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. And that is what is happening, because we give them all the gyan. Right? We give them all the gyan. But the moment the guy is out, he's again
doing the same thing.
Trained out, negative, body language gone, attitude gone, confidence gone. So that's my thought process. Yeah. And then in certain things, in certain period, I've lost my job also. And I left my job because people saying this guy is not producing. Why should I let the guy go? He's doing right. It'll take time. Probably I go.
Yeah.
So that's how it is.
So how you advise people to be more confident in handling the sales calls, or be when they are going to visit a client? Normally, especially with the sales, they're not I think treated with dignity. I think because they are being, because you see, everybody will say, oh, if this is a sales guy, he will try to sell me something. So maybe companies and corporates are not treating them nicely. So what is the advice that you would give to them?
Your question actually is right, but that is a psychological phase. It's not an issue. It's psychological phase of a period,
Yeah.
First thing, my sales technique is, if I need to go out and sell my hotel or sell anything, please don't sell. Please don't try to sell anything. Nobody's going to buy.
Yeah.
In this world, sitting here in this call to me, Prime Minister Modi, to Donald Trump, everybody's selling everything.
Selling something, yeah.
Please don't, right? Please don't sell anything. First, you need to go out, and if you are scared of meeting the person, or if you are scared of going into a company, then I think you should not be into
Sales.
hotels, or you should not be into sales.
Yeah.
Right? And asking for an appointment is a style and an art. Because he is not meeting you, he is meeting 25 different hoteliers. Why should he meet you?
Yeah.
If you are something in company X, right, and you're using different hotels, not my hotel, if I ask for an appointment, you will not meet me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know a meeting will become a liability, then I'll ask for business, right? So how it is, then your style, your art comes in between. Probably you may not ask for business, if it's just a face-to-face meeting for 5-10 minutes, I'm not asking for business. That's how it is. So first, icebreaker is very important. You know, I'll tell you how I used to be when I used to be a sales manager. If you are going to any city and my hotel is full, for example, if you're going to Mumbai and my hotel is full, and you're asking me that city is full, I don't know what to do and this and that, I used to help my customers book another hotel. Okay? So if you are a booker in the company, see how I have made your life easy.
Yeah.
That you simply got a booking. So probably I would have lost 1 or 2 room nights, but I won that person for the whole lifetime.
Yes. Yes. Correct.
That's how it is.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me, I think somebody was saying that even if you have to divert your customer to another of your competitor just for a while, you shouldn't be thinking twice, but just let them go. Because if you are good, they will come back and they will have better confidence in you. Whenever they see any problem in the future, they will not go directly to that competitor. They will come to you first.
True. People should appreciate also, you know, if somebody is going and somebody is talking about not my hotel, other hotel, why should I say bad about any other hotel?
Yeah, of course.
So these days, everybody is smart. They understand and they read between the lines what you're saying. So that's how it. And that is totally up to you. How it's an art actually. Yeah. Right? Selling is an art now. Or you are asking something.
Yeah, no, I was not asking. I was asking on the negotiations. So, what is your advice on negotiation? Because nowadays, especially when the hotels are in need, they are very low on the occupancy, and customers, the companies, corporates, they know that hotels are in need. So it's easy for them to squeeze the prices. If you, let's say, quote $50, they may ask you to come down at 30. They know that hotel has no other choice. If we are giving a business, the hotel have less choices nowadays because there are less occupancy, not much of retail business happening. So how do you try to maintain your pricing or negotiate in these hard conditions?
Your question has got 2 parts.
Yeah,
it's got 2 parts. I'll leave this part, which is a corona part right now. I'll answer this. I'll come to the first part.
Yeah,
is negotiation.
Yeah.
If you have come on to the negotiation stage, that means you have cleared some stages earlier.
Yes.
Sales has got different stages. So now if you have come to the negotiation stage, that means you have qualified other stages as well. So by the time you qualify other stage and you have come to negotiation, you should know that is this the person, the right person, or that somebody else is the decision maker?
Yes.
Right? Like in the case of a corporate, you may not get a chance to negotiate. They will say, this is the price.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So there is a
normally have a budget.
Yes. So there is a different way of knowing people here. If I know Manish Gupta is a corporate guy who is asking $30 price, I should know number two of Manish Gupta also, and I should call him whether he's saying right thing or not. Or is there somebody above Manish Gupta who will say, sorry, we can only do it 25? All right. So if you're dropping the price to $30, the business should come to you. I just gave you an example.
Yeah.
Now coming on to the Corona level, you know your product very well. You know your costing very well. And when you have quoted $50, you would have kept some negotiation margin.
Yeah.
Right? And it is a human tendency. If I go to a shop and I ask for something, he says 10,000. I said, I will definitely come back say no, 8,000.
Yeah. Negotiate it.
Right? And in between something will settle down. That's how it is. If you are confident, your management is backing up, you know your cost of running your hotel is $35. By $50, you can earn something. You should quote $55, $58, but not that much. It should not cross your competition's this thing.
Yeah. Correct.
And if the price war is happening, you should step back. And you should clearly say, I am not in this price war. Probably tomorrow or day after tomorrow or for a month, I will not have a business. But later, I am sure. And that is how most of the hotels, they have earned respect and they've made their place like that. This is the hotel will not negotiate. Either on services, on quality or rate. That's how it is. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, to pretty much to an extent, yes, because it depends on the positioning of the hotel and the confidence level in the hotel. If they are confident enough and they know what is their minimum price, then even if you lose the business, you normally don't want to negotiate on the, because in that case you will not be able to win again in the future in the longer term. Short term maybe you can gain, but in long term the same person will squeeze you again and he will give a reference. Last time you give us a discount of 40%. What happened now then?
Absolutely.
Right. Otherwise you will lose the customer.
And sales always has stages. Right? Probably I am maybe at that stage where I can see an email and I'll come to know what is the story all about. But for a sales manager or a junior person, there are certain stages. They will take time to qualify the lead, understand what exactly is this, what they're asking for. How do I actually qualify the lead first? So qualification is a different process. Then you come on to a proposal level. Then you come on to a contract level. By this time, you should know the hierarchy of the organization.
Yeah.
Right? It's like handling a wedding. There are 5 people coming in, but you don't know who is the decision maker.
Is it the bride or the bride's father?
Yes.
Yeah.
Understand. So you have to be very smart to understand without letting them know that you're judging something out. Actually.
Yeah.
You will have to be a little smart.
So how do you judge?
See, if you say in weddings, first thing is don't say no to anything. Right? If you don't know anything, just note it down and ask for time.
Yeah.
And tell them, I will come back to you on this. I'm not sure about it. All right? Don't sell anything. Suggest. Because with weddings, people come with a certain mindset.
Yes. Correct. They have certain budget.
They have budget. They come with a mindset, and you have list of things where you can tell them. Because they come into your hotel, but they don't know what all you have. You can do certain things without adding cost. That's how it is. And then it's always, I told you, people have to be really smart on this. But it all comes through an experience. Initially, I also used to lose a lot of things. Then I used to analyze myself. How did I lose it? What went wrong?
So follow up learning is also important. You have to see where did you failed and what was the reason and how you can fix it in the future.
True.
Good. So what else techniques you suggest for sales manager or sales people to succeed in hotels?
See, there are a lot of, when you say techniques, what you're talking about the technical part, or you just are asking about the sales and marketing?
Yeah, sales and marketing part, sales and marketing process.
See, I told you
And
person
also
have to be
technical
really,
techniques means their skills at the skill level. What skills they
yes.
should
So
have.
all these things, when come to a person, it becomes a profession,
Hmm.
right? Salespeople should first thing be very disciplined
Hmm.
and think from others' point of view.
From the customer
I may
point
send
of
you,
view.
yeah, I may send you a WhatsApp message,
Hmm.
but I should know that either I'm sending a personalized WhatsApp message or I'm sending a bulk to you.
Hmm.
So when you get a message, you'll come to know it's a bulk message, not for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
right? That's
Correct.
very annoying.
Hmm.
So that's misusing the technology,
Hmm.
all right?
Yeah.
The
Bulk
small,
emails.
small things, see, all human tendency notices everything.
Hmm. Hmm.
And small, small things, they start judging people out of it,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
right? Starting sending a bulk SMS, bulk email without the name, no.
Yeah.
Strictly, no, no. If somebody is not taking the call, you send him a message, I want to talk something urgent, that is different thing. But
Hmm.
calling him repeatedly is not good.
Yeah. Correct.
It's very, very basic things.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Email etiquettes are very important. What language you are using in email
Hmm.
is very important. That can annoy a person,
Hmm.
that the language you use. You send everything and then you say rooms are subject to availability.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can say, bloody, I'm giving you so much of business, you're saying subject to availability.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Understood? Rather, it can be your rooms would be on priority check-in.
Hmm.
Right? You're just playing with the words. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Correct.
One more thing, your proposal should not be very high
Hmm. Hmm.
or should not be very
Very
low.
low. Yeah.
So your analysis of your hotels or a destination, like for
Hmm.
example, I'll tell you, I used to work for a company called Sterling Holidays. They were in minus 800 crores when I joined them.
Hmm.
And they have hotels in various destinations that they wanted MICE business to come to their hotels. Now, how would I sitting in Delhi will come to know what hotel in Darjeeling is giving what rate?
Yeah.
And you know what? It's very easy. It's not difficult.
Hmm.
If your hotel teams know what is their F&B markup, what is their F&B selling price, you can come to know a proposed rate of that hotel within 10 minutes of studying the website.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's it. So that's a trick. So
Hmm.
there are many things like this who makes a person professional. Obviously, person should be confident, well dressed, always positive,
Hmm.
always positive. Positivity is very important.
Hmm. Hmm.
Your body language should tell the half of the story. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Because we are in the hotels, and the body language is very important for us, especially the facial expressions.
Absolutely. Not even in hotels, in personal life as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah.
body language, the way you talk, the way you walk.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yeah. Okay.
this
That's
gyan will
good.
never stop, Manish. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there are a
Yeah.
lot of things in this
Hmm. Hmm.
during the
Hmm.
sales or marketing sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.